So we were talking about S, and yeah, let's go to the boys' game. The Gardner area Tigers.
Yes.
As
Gardner area,
as Rob Bunzing likes to call them.
Yeah.
And Rob commented on the last one, so we were talking about static cameras. That camera they have at Gardner underneath the basket. The basket that doesn't have the student section, the other one.
Right.
It's not static.
Oh.
It's I'm not going to remember the model, but it's in the comments of that YouTube video. It's a digital. It's a programmable. They can pan. They can scan. They can.
It's kind of like what HOU had, right?
Yeah, I think
so. At the table.
It's something like that. Yeah, they can control it. They can zoom in and they can do stuff. It's not just locked down.
Nice.
I think it's locked down as on a tripod sense
Okay.
or mounted to the wall sense, but it's movable.
Yep.
So thank you, Rob, for listening, and he does great work on those broadcasts.
Speaking of the Gardner student section, I was really disappointed that little girl was not front row in the Gardner student section.
I think she was.
She was?
I think I saw her. I think they told her to calm down.
Hey, who's the guy in the gold flashy jacket?
That's their broadcast, their public address announcer.
Okay, because he was just walking and going like everywhere.
Yeah,
okay,
he does PA. I don't remember his name, but he does PA for
I kept seeing
games.
him, like, you know, he was coming down and going back up to his seat and moving around. I'm like, dude, you can't do that subtly. You're super distracting.
Yeah.
Okay?
But it's a great jacket. But their student section was great. Their whole fan section was great.
The Yarmouth student section, very soccery.
Yeah.
Very soccery.
Yeah.
I think
they were doing something early that was kind of fun that I didn't catch on video because I was trying to upload them.
Yeah, I heard a couple things that they definitely copied from Hearts of Pine, which was cool.
Okay. That makes sense.
Which was cool.
It is very much a soccer. When people ask
it
me
is
about
a
the
soccer
Yarmouth
community,
team, I'm like,
yeah.
it's a bunch of soccer players that play basketball.
Right. Also, Matt LeBlanc for Yarmouth. I heard that. I could not get Joey Tribbiani out of my head.
That's got to be rough.
I'm sorry, buddy. Okay, but your parents did that to you.
If your last name is LeBlanc, and it's not the Michael Bolton situation from Office Space, you know?
Right.
Matt LeBlanc was already wildly famous.
I mean, he's a sophomore, so you're looking 09, 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 5 years after Friends went off the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
first run.
I think if your name is LeBlanc, you're like, well, we can't call him Matt. Obviously not.
I just heard that, and I read that. I'm just like, there's no way.
Yeah. It's a choice.
You know.
Naming a kid is a whole thing. It's a whole process, and there's a lot of negotiations involved. But I think I would never name a kid after a celebrity.
It'd be good that I was not on PA for a Yarmouth game, because I would have just called him Joey Tribbiani.
Have you seen the ESPN commercial about Michael Jordan? Like people named Michael Jordan?
Yes.
And they're like at a restaurant and they're like, oh, I'm Michael Jordan. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like that. And like your whole life is going to be like that.
I mean, even Michael B. Jordan acknowledged, I got to be Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, you got to be Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
But also maybe MJ had a SAG card and he had to be.
Probably. Yeah, because MJ would have a SAG card from Looney Tunes. Or from Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yep.
I watched
probably from commercials.
Because I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I use Nate Bargatze line with my students. I'm from the 1900s. And it's like, you're ancient. And it's like, and you were born in like 2010.
Oh my God.
That's not real.
Oh my God, really?
Like, you're a sophomore in high school, and I was a sophomore in high school when you were born. That's not allowed.
I won't say what I was when they were born.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a sophomore in anything.
But,
I had a fake master's degree by then.
Where was I going with this?
I don't
Where
know.
are we always going with this?
Boys basketball. Gardner area Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, just...
You're champions of Class B.
Just a program that I think just did it the right way.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I watched back to Dad's interview with, and your interview with Aaron yesterday, and you could just feel he wasn't the most exuberant. Okay,
It was a really good interview. The one I did with him, he was really
you could
thoughtful.
just really feel how much that meant to him. Okay, played for that program, lost in that game to that program 14 years ago. Okay, teaches at that school. Okay, has embraced that school and community, and you can tell they embraced him. I wish Maine Public got the shot of him. They gave him the opportunity to raise that gold ball in front of everyone else. And I wish someone got a real shot of that.
I know, I was out of position for that.
And, usually I'm 100%, this is for the kids, okay?
But sometimes it's...
But you know what? It's like you just got to feel, that guy.
It's for the kids, but he's one of those kids.
He's one of those kids, exactly.
That's his program. That's the program he grew up in. That's the program he played for.
He sees those kids every single day.
Yeah, you're always, if you coach for the program you grew up in,
mm-hmm.
you're always one of those kids.
Yeah.
Because you never really lose that. And that's kind of like the magic of high school basketball. Is if if you didn't get in the transfer portal and jump around, if you I didn't even play for Madomic, but I grew up in that program, and I'm a Madomic person forever, and it's that's just not going to change.
Yeah.
And there's no point in denying it. Am I supposed to cheer when the press pass? No. Did I do a fist pump when Mason Wen hit a 3-pointer in the regional final? Yes, I did.
And it's all about community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I think it was Atwater who said it, in one of the post-game interviews. It's like, it's still blue collar, Tiger ball. Okay?
Yep.
This isn't a school that necessarily has a ton of basketball history, boys basketball history. Okay?
Yeah.
They've had moments. I want to say they made their first regional final in 2012 or something like that. I think that might have
been the first one.
And not just win it, but made their first regional final.
Yeah, okay.
14 years ago at the auditorium. So, let's call it for what it is. It's a football school.
It's a football school.
It's a football school that have great athletes.
And they've been in the mix. They were in the mix for a little while, then they fell out of the mix completely.
Yep.
And it was really rough for 4 or 5 years, and then Toman gets the job and slowly built that program up. And now it's finally paying off. And, Mike Mandel pointed to them and Summer Ball as a team to watch. And I went, oh, really? That's interesting, because I think they had just made the playoffs for the first time in a couple of years, the year before, or maybe the second time.
Who was it? They lost to Hamden in the quarters last year.
Yeah, and they
were a 7 seed.
Yeah, they were like the 7, and they had finally gotten back into the tournament, and they was, it was the whole we're building something, and you go, okay, sure. But yeah, and that's, first of all, to pull that turnaround all the way that quickly is really impressive from a coaching perspective and a program building perspective.
I think when you look at things in a basketball lens, Gardner, you could say, is little brother to Coney. And you think of, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You just hear a school name and you're like, basketball school, okay? Mm-hmm. Coney is one of those. Now, their boys haven't, reached the pinnacle in 40, 50 years, but they've always been competitive.
They're around the goal.
Of course, the girls program has all that legacy as well, But when you think of, in a Coney Gardner situation from a basketball perspective, it's like, well, that leans heavily Coney historically.
Yeah.
But you look at the type of kid in that, the capital region, what Coney has done. Why can't you do that at a Gardner? Halldale's had a ton of success. Winthrop's had a ton of success. Miranda Cook obviously has had a ton of success.
And we'll see them today. We'll see how much more.
Why not a Gardner? Okay? And they just, it's like, I like how they play. They kind of push the tempo in a good way. It's never super out of control, but it's just, they're
going to go.
They are. And what I looked halfway through the third quarter, we had the live stats in front of me. I just looked at the shot chart. And the amount, you looked at Yarmouth, and it was everything, 6 feet within, and then on the perimeter. Okay? Look at Gardner's shot chart. They would find a lane, okay, and they would make that extra pass and pull up for 12 feet. Okay? And they shot the ball extraordinarily well. It's just it was just old school, and it was refreshing, okay, to look at that, a shot chart that's not just a bunch of dots here and a bunch of dots over here.
Yeah.
Okay? Peacock is a joy to watch. I don't know, really, it's kind of weird, when you think about it. I don't think someone who appreciates history of basketball in this state, it's like Gardner won a state title last night.
Yeah.
The Gardner boys won a state title.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they beat Coney on the way.
Twice. And they did it in almost like a dominant fashion. Okay. When you look through that regional tournament, that Herman game, I mean, just defensively, I mean, you look at, we talk about, how they kind of push the tempo on the offensive end, but they really set the tempo on the defensive end more than anything else. And, they have those opportunities,
I mean, it's not like the region opened up for them.
No. I mean, that was, region of death when you really look at it. They, like anything else, it was favorable matchup. So you had a semifinal matchup with look at Herman. That's a 2-3 game, but they beat him at 17, about 17 in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
They beat him by 17 in the semi. That was just they matched up really well with Herman.
Yeah,
but you could probably say vice versa. Herman just really didn't match up really well with the Gardner. You change that matchup in any which way. You change the seedings, even just flip one. Okay, you may have a totally different result.
Yeah.
You look on the other side with that Yarmouth team, who's extraordinarily young, and Hassan, in his first year, I mean, they're going to be around a while.
Yeah.
And as a 4 seed, and we talked about that. I think during our midseason pod, we're like, okay, so what is this Yarmouth team gonna, fall into things? Because we talked about York and Madomic, and how did Lake Region kind of fall into the mix? And it's like, well, what about that Yarmouth team? It's like
they were sort of hovering.
And
they were a team I wrote off early in the year because
Yeah.
I saw them when they at Madomic where they got blown out.
Yep.
And it was heavy JV minutes, and they were 0-2, and I'm like, well, all right. So that's not going to be a good team. But they were missing starters, and they got healthy or got everybody back at least, whatever they were missing starters for, and went on a run, and then got punched in the mouth by Cape, and had a great tournament, peaked at the exact right time to get by Madomic in the regional final, and they just didn't have enough for Gardner, who has been sneaky dominant. They were the 3 seed, and it's Gardner, so everyone was kind of writing them off, but they beat Coney in the regular season. They beat Herman in the regular season. They beat Coney again in the regional final, and a Coney team that everyone had just penciled into the state game. Like, everybody had penciled Coney into that state game. And I was on this podcast and other places and more loudly off camera going, I don't think Coney's winning this region.
Well, it's funny how like the boys and girls in B North kind of mirrored each other, because you look seeding wise, and if you just ask me, it's like, okay, no explanation whatsoever. It's like, who's winning that region and who's winning that region? And you're like, yep, Lawrence, 3 seed. Okay,
3 seed. They were the sexy pick.
Yeah, and I guess the same thing, here. And it's like I hadn't seen Gardner until their quarterfinal game against Erskine.
Mm-hmm.
And, even like watching that first half, I'm just like, ooh. It's, I thought that, and I'm just like, they're not losing this. Okay?
Yeah.
They aren't.
There's something about them where even on tape, they don't look amazing. And
they're undersized.
They're undersized, and you always think, well, they're not going to be able to hang with Maxwell, the Yarmouth big, or Parker Morin, or whoever. And then they do, and they figure out a way to do it, and they sort of piece it together. But in person, you're like, oh, okay, I see this now. Because when I saw them at Civic Center against Coney, the 97-90 game, I was like, oh, this Gardner team's legit. And the model was really high on them. The model had them beating Coney by 8, which is the most questioned regional final model prediction ever, and they covered.
It was 9.
They could have covered tonight if Yarmouth didn't make a late run.
Yeah, and I thought that they hit the 3 to cut it to 2, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, just one, and I think Gardner had to go full court with 6.5 to go or something like that, or 6.5 seconds. And they almost got that steal in the corner.
They did almost get a steal in the corner.
And I'm just thinking back 4 years ago, when Ellsworth was up 10 with like 3:21 to go, and Yarmouth went on a 23-5 run in that last regulation and overtime to win.
Yarmouth had to go on a crazy run this year to even get to the regional final.
Right. So, and of course that's 4 years ago. So I mean, it was a total changeover.
Right.
But I don't know, anything like super stat-wise that stood out to you last night?
Stat-wise, not so much from the Gardner game, because I thought Gardner controlled that game.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that impressed me the most was Trace Moody.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching him when they were fouled. They seemed very intent on not fouling him. So Yarmouth had done their scout.
Yeah.
They knew this is not the guy to put on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And that place was going absolutely nuts. And he was like the center of a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed that. Like, he was the calmest person in that building.
Yep.
By far.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like walked up, and someone, I forget who said it to me, he's like, you're shooting at that end. And I think it was Ryan Snell, actually, the Medallion football coach. You're shooting at that end and you're staring at that scoreboard. That's a huge scoreboard, and the numbers there. And you've got to make one. You got to make both of these free throws ideally, but you got to make at least one of them, I think, to make it a 3-point game. Because they're up 2.
They're up
right?
2.
Yeah, so you got to make at least one to make it a 3-point game. And if you miss them both, you might be going home empty-handed. And he just calmly stepped in there and he hit 4 straight free throws down the stretch to put it away.
You know what was really telling in that moment? So he hits the second free throw to go up 4. I just looked across at the bench just to see if they would start like really feeling it. And they didn't. Okay. And it's just like, yep. It's like, oh, he hit him. It's like, okay. Like it was just like a quiet confidence there. Now, granted, the people behind them were going absolutely crazy. Okay. Gardner fans, wow. Okay.
They showed up.
I thought about this. I'm like, if Caribou was still in Class B and we had a Gardner Caribou game,
oh my God,
I think the place would blow up.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Like it was just like they went berserk.
They showed up
multiple times, and I'm setting you up for something. But man, like,
well, they got that little girl. She leads the way.
Yes,
she's the straw that stirs the drink.
In
the student section.
And all the adults were like those Bleacher Creature T-shirts, the orange.
Can we get a Bleacher Creature T-shirt?
Yes, please.
If Aaron, Mike Gray, if you're watching, someone can
I'll just ask my mom teaches there. I don't know why. They gotta find.
Get some Bleacher Creature shirts. Those look cool.
Let's talk about the flops.
The flop technicals.
We're 9 miles away from the Civic Center.
Okay. This is a good structuring for us, because we get this road sign saying, like, hey, wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
So the flop technicals. Okay, so here's the thing I noticed. I'm going to skip ahead after the flop technical. So you had this thing in, I'm going to remember this wrong, but I think it was Levitt, Yarmouth.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it was definitely one of the quarterfinal games at the Expo. Well, maybe it was a semifinal. It was a game at the Expo. And they and I think it was a quarterfinals, because the quarterfinals were so badly officiated. And I've heard this from officials, from everybody. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. So I think Levitt gets a flop technical on, first of all, the flop was not a flop. They got the warning on. The one they got the technical on was not a flop. And then, I think this was in the first half, then they didn't attempt a charge. They did not try to take a charge for the rest of the game. Because it's a close game. I mean, that game went overtime or whatever game it was, it's a close game. And you can't risk a technical on a 50-50, what could be a 50-50 play. So unless you get absolutely run over and it's an obvious offensive foul, you're not going to try to stand in there and take a charge, because technical foul, and that's so egregious. And I get that they want to cut down on the flop, but I think the same thing happened here after Gardner got their flop technical. I don't think they attempted to take a charge the rest of the game. And that's just, like, to me, is a red flag of this rule is not working.
I think, so the first one that was called with the warning, I had a much better view of that one than I had the second one with the technical foul.
Yeah.
Okay. In real time, I see that, I'm like, yeah, flop.
Okay. That looked ish.
But we had different perspectives, okay? Yeah. I was more in that end of the court, okay? So I saw it, I'm like, they're going to get that one, okay? The second one, and I've seen the angles, okay? I saw contact.
Oh, there was 100% contact.
So, and I know the whole intent, it's like, well, there can be contact, but you could, still...
sell it.
sell it. And the correct term, the technical term is faking being fouled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if you get hit and you fall the totally other direction, yeah, okay, first off, you got to do a better job at flopping. Okay,
Yeah.
how do you sell that?
That's soccer flop.
And I saw that. Now, from my angle, in real time, I did not see the contact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I see that, I'm like, oh no. And then it happens. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. What I do not like is there seems to be a mindset, do not announce the technical foul. Because you don't want to embarrass the kid.
And I'm like, team technical.
It's a team technical. But I just want to say, there are far more people watching online, on TV, etc., than in the venue.
Yeah.
And they are mentioning that on the broadcast.
Uh-huh.
So why aren't we announcing it? Why are we not announcing it in the venue?
It's on Facebook within 60 seconds of it happening.
Yep.
And people are arguing
Why aren't
about
we announcing it is a foul? A technical foul is a foul. Okay?
There's a deer.
Yeah, they're a little, I mean, it's actually a good deer stretch, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's good podcasting.
A technical foul is a foul. It should be announced.
Yeah.
Okay? Why are you omitting that information?
They did announce it at the venue.
No, they announced who was shooting the technical free throws. They did not announce the technical foul.
Oh.
There's a difference.
Interesting. Okay.
Also, to go back, in the girls'
game.
game, after the wedgie ball, which was, as far as I remember, the only wedgie ball that happened in Bangor the whole time.
Oh, really?
Okay, all week. When they dislodged the ball and it goes through the basket, and Rich Ezzy announced no basket, that was awesome.
That was
Rich
great.
Ezzy, great job.
You got a good laugh.
The comedic timing on that was just phenomenal. And I said that, I don't remember if I said it on broadcast, I'm like, I think that was the first wedgie I saw all week, which was weird because usually you see that a couple years ago, I think we saw that like all the time.
Yeah.
There was one year in the NCAA tournament, which it happened, and I think because they changed the ball and everything got stuck.
Oh, okay.
Like someone made a one shining moment of just wedgies from the NCAA tournament one year, and it filled the whole 3.5 minutes of song.
Wow. I saw a thing in an NCAA game the other day where it rests on the back of the rim.
Oh yeah.
Those are even harder to get.
I liked whatever it was.
One of those in Madonna game.
The ball got stuck between the top of the backboard and the shot clock, and they sent the Indiana cheerleader up to grab it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I remember who was on the call. It might have been like Andrew Catalan with CBS, and he got so upset. It's like, get up there, send her up there. Yes, the cheerleader saves the day. It was something ridiculous. And then Indiana won national championship in football, and then all hell's broken loose in the world. So,
are you going to remind me which exit is the Civic Center coming this way?
It's not. This is the main gen.
It's
No,
not the one that says Augusta Civic Center?
No, it's the one that says. No, this is 113.
Oh, okay.
112 is Civic Center Drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one that actually says Civic Center.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think like anything else, when you have a new interpretation, usually it takes 2-3 years to settle in,
Sort it out.
I don't know how things are working out nationwide with that because that's a federation rule.
Yeah, I assume it's going worse.
So yeah, that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of things happened.
We have a lot happening
Did
today.
it make?
He did change the game.
It did. Did they hit both free throws?
They missed both free throws
Okay.
because it was a ball don't lie.
Yep. I said ball don't lie. I don't remember. It was in a context that had nothing to do with basketball. And I meant to say karma. Okay, but I said ball don't lie. I think it was at work. Okay, I said ball don't lie, and they're like, what? I'm like, oh, sorry. I meant karma.
You're like, I haven't turned.
The same thing.
Too much at turning week. Is this
Yeah,
it?
this is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so today we pull off into the Augusta exit. So today we've got a bunch of games. We've got the A games in Portland.
Yep.
We've got, which might be the least interesting, although Nolan aims against the Portland defense is pretty interesting. Oh, you're right here, right?
Left.
Oh,
Yep.
shit. But the C games look awesome. Oh, the
Yeah,
AGL left. Okay, I see.
Yeah, if you want to watch the C games, come look at our monitor. And yes, we will advocate. We may just dump water on the floor if it's like a one possession game with under 10
I
seconds
tried to
go.
get them to put it on the big board. They won't let them put any video on the big board.
What?
Which they've done. They used to put the video, the whole broadcast on the big board.
Right, they used to do that in Bangor too. I don't know why they do that. That's
I don't know.
dumb.
It's because they don't want. I think maybe they don't want the replays and people booing the replays when the ref miss a call or something.
I noticed because I always have the broadcast on my screen just in case I want to go back and look at a replay. It was like a minute and a half behind.
Really, last night? Usually they're right on top of it.
No, it was like NFHS bad.
Oh, that's strange. Don't tell Nick that. Well, maybe do tell Nick that.
I don't know. And I tried both of them.
So on our turn here, pull into the Civic Center.
And I tried to look at.
Is anyone watching this? 2 people apparently.
Yep.
2 sickos.
Yeah, 2 sickos.
2 sickos watching 2 sickos.
Exactly. Yeah, because I usually like to have it just so I can roll things back, and I tried both streaming feeds, and they were just, I don't know why it's looking just,
It's just
terrible.
not. I should probably tape that down.
Yeah, that would have been a great idea maybe like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Well.
It was only really on the turns. I think it's fine.
At least the sign stayed.
The sign stayed. Hey,
yeah,
thank you to Vertical Race.
I
got to remember where I park. So I did this because I always, when I leave here usually, I'm like one of the last people to leave.
Yep.
And so I have no problem finding my car. And then the other day when I left mid-session, I was like, oh, where did I park? I'm wandering around hitting the horn.
You're leaving for Augusta during daylight hours, so it'll be a little easier.
It's a little easier then. Well, no, because then I can hit the thing. Oh, right here. Look at this.
Oh, is that a real spot?
That's going to be a real spot. Is it though?
Yeah, it is.
There's a grate there. All right. So that's it. That's the show. Thanks for watching / listening, either live or on tape delay. Yeah, this is actually episode 100 of the podcast.
Wow.
So
that's phenomenal.
What a weird way to do it. Thank you, Jay. We're going to go watch the Valley Express, which you've never seen.
I saw the girls last year, but I have not seen Harry Lewis or Fisher Tewksbury.
You were in for a treat.
Yep.
You're Harry Lewis. You got multiple people who look like Fisher Tewksbury, but only one of them is Fisher Tewksbury. And I think if he gets in foul trouble, they could probably just swap jerseys and get away with it.
See, I wish the higher seed could pick what jerseys they wore.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because don't they have black alternates?
Yes, I believe so.
Man, that'd be great. Blackout in the state final.
I know, that would be cool.
That'd be so much fun.
All right.
That's basketball.
That's the show. MaineBasketballRankings.com. Subscribe. We will see you later. How do we stop this thing?
I don't know.
Okay. Last time it just shut off. We could walk it into the Civic Center if we wanted to.
Do an IG live.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I hit X. Yes.